circulating on social media shows 19-year-old Amira Walls as mall security handlers were struggling to get the dog off her ankle. She's got a lawyer now. Attorney Ivory Lamar telling TMJ4 News.
Ms. Walls has involuntary shaking of her legs. She has numbness. She describes the pain almost like a 10 out of 10 at this point. It's very excruciating.
Now, these were mall security officials. Wauwatosa police did respond to the mall Friday night for a fight, but security told them it was over before they arrived and apparently did not mention the dog issue. Attorney Lamar saying that Walls was not the aggressor in the altercation and she was actually trying to stop 3 other people from attacking her friend. Election day underway. Polls open in Wisconsin till 8 p.m. Local issues, school board referendums may be on your ballot. The entire state has the race for state superintendent and whether to add photo ID for voting as a requirement in the state constitution. The biggest race, that for state Supreme Court, getting national attention this morning. ABC's Stephen Portnoy is covering it.
The special elections on the Panhandle and along the stretch of the Atlantic coast north of Daytona Beach offer Florida voters the chance to choose replacements for former GOP Congressman Matt Gaetz and Mike Waltz. In Wisconsin, voters will choose among 2 candidates for a seat on the state Supreme Court that could shift its ideological balance. That race has seen tens of millions of dollars flowing in, including from Elon Musk, who held an event last weekend in support of the GOP-backed candidate in the race. That
candidate, Judge Brad Schimmel of Waukesha. Billionaire George Soros among the big money donors in the millions to Dane County Judge Susan Crawford in the most expensive judicial race in U.S. history. Major job cuts at HHS today.
Layoffs have begun at the Department of Health and Human Services, including at the FDA and CDC. Up to 10,000 people are expected to lose their jobs in this round of layoffs, a number that could significantly alter the department's roles and abilities. ABC News has learned that some employees were told they were being immediately placed on administrative leave and losing access to their office starting today.
ABC's Karen Travers reporting President Trump's additional tariffs set to go into effect tomorrow. Businesses warning they will likely pass on additional costs to consumers. More from ABC's Rebecca Jarvis, who says the foreign and U.S.-based auto markets are likely to take a hit and auto costs could rise by nearly $9,000.
Cars below $30,000, the most affordable cars, will see a smaller supply of those. But I just want to say, unless you need it, don't race out and make that purchase because you need to be thoughtful about your own economics as well here.
As for the effects on the markets, I'll get you those numbers in a moment.
There's still some very big unknowns here. First of all, the particulars of the president's plan, which is set to take effect tomorrow, and also how other countries might respond and retaliate. And that uncertainty is flowing and rippling over here on Wall Street.
News about your money this morning. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average is down, but just about 31 points at 41,980. The S&P 500 is up nearly 10 points to 5622. NASDAQ at 17,386. That is up 87 points. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Sports, traffic, weather are next. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:05.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for Tri-County Contracting. We talk all the time about Tri-County Contracting, the place to go for roofs and siding. But don't forget, Tri-County Contracting also does windows. Need a new front entry door? Tri-County Contracting. Or maybe a patio door that's always jammed. Get your free estimates today. They've been helping homeowners like you for 46 years. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com. It's worry-free roofing, siding, oh yeah, and windows. Tri-County Contracting, WI.com.
Who doesn't need a seasonal wardrobe update? But who has the cash to always keep their wardrobe updated? Ladies, that's why you shop St. Vincent de Paul. Our women's clothing is always a highlight of our stores, and thrift store prices keep the costs low. It allows you to experiment and also find a hidden gem. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
Ooh, you're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
If you're living with dry age-related macular degeneration or dry AMD, you may be at risk for developing geographic atrophy or GA. GA can be unpredictable and progress rapidly, leading to irreversible vision loss. Now there's something you can do to
slow it down and get it going slower.
I Izervay is proven to slow GA progression.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Izervay or Avastin-capted Pagel is a prescription eye injection used to treat GA. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may temporarily increase eye pressure. Your vision may be impaired after an eye injection or exam. Don't delay. Ask your doctor about Izervay today.
Izervay gets GA going slower.
Visit Izervay.com. That's IZERVAY.com.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports Desk. Brewers still looking for their first win on the season at the Royals tonight at American Family Field. Crew lost big in the home opener, 11-1. Manager Pat Murphy telling Wisconsin's Morning News injuries on the pitching staff are nearly insurmountable.
We virtually lost 65% of our pitching staff that we planned on having coming into the season. And if you lose that much, no team in baseball can survive.
Tonight, Chad Patrick on the hill for the Brewers. Our coverage starts at 6:10 with first pitch at 6:40 on WTMJ. Bucks and Suns tonight, just 8 games left on the regular season for Milwaukee. That game a 6:30 tip at Fiserv Forum. And the Packers leading a push to ban the push. NFL owners set to vote today on a proposal to ban the so-called tush push in short yardage play, first adopted by the Philadelphia Eagles. Take a look at the roads. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic Report. Well, even though some of our construction zones are active at this hour, normal freeway speeds throughout the system. No major incidents to report. Your WTMJ 5-day forecast. Increasing clouds today. Wintry mix moves in late tonight with a high of 40 degrees. Tonight's low down to 35. Could see up to an inch of slushy accumulation north of the city. Then Wednesday, morning rain and storms are likely. Chance of thunderstorms returning in the afternoon and a windy high of 63. Thursday, partly cloudy, high 53. Friday's high 47 degrees under partly cloudy skies. And for Saturday, a high of 50 with a slight chance of rain in the morning. Madison right now at 35 degrees. 33 in Green Bay. Waukesha 35 and same in Milwaukee, 35 degrees. I'm Vince Vitrano, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:09.
We like to do things by the numbers. We're all about commerce and community. Welcome to the Upswing, presented by Horicon Bank, the natural choice for all your banking needs. Now for the host that's always on the upswing, Jeff Sherman.
Now, to business, gentlemen.
Good morning, Wisconsin. Good morning, Milwaukee. Election Day is here. We're going to get into some of the business dynamics and some of the political implications of today's Supreme Court race. Pat Sobolkowski, who's an adjunct assistant professor of political science at Marquette University, joins us later in the show. How many texts did you get over the weekend and yesterday? I counted up on my phone. Just Sunday alone, I had 14 different texts from both sides. I think 8 from the Schimmel camp, 6 from Crawford on Sunday alone. They slowed down a little bit yesterday. I only got about 4. But I did yesterday finally get that fake phishing scam text that starts with, you have an outstanding toll. Your toll account balance is outstanding. If you fail to pay by April 2nd, 2025, you'll be penalized or subject to legal action. Have you gotten that one? If you do, my public service message here, do not engage with that message. You can report it to the Consumer Protection webpage at consumerprotection.wi.gov or make a phone call. It's 800-422-7128. At the end of this scam is a link that takes you to an imposter toll payment portal. It looks 100% legitimate, but controlled by a scammer. So do not engage with those texts for sure. So it's a buyer beware day every day, but for sure the volume of texts is amplifying. So make sure you are monitoring your phone. As we do each and every morning, we're going to go 2 up.
Now it's time for the
2, count 'em, 2.
2 Up on the Upswing.
Two things in the business world that I'm seeing that you need to know about right now. First up, some gaslight building woes. You know the gaslight building in beautiful downtown Milwaukee here? It has been this beacon with a 21-foot tall decorative glass flame that was added to the building in 1956. The building itself was completed in 1930 as the headquarters for the Wisconsin Gas Company. Why the woes? Well, the building is being sold at foreclosure auction that is set for April 21st. A $14 million default foreclosure judgment was issued in January by a Milwaukee County Circuit Court judge against the building owner, who is Gaslight Milwaukee LLC, an affiliate of a Chicago-based M&J Wilco Limited. I'm guessing that's probably going to be sold to the out-of-state lender. But the interesting thing here is that the underused building's main anchor tenant is the U.S. Forest Service, which is facing a bunch of cuts from the Trump administration in their spending cuts through DOGE. So it'll be interesting to see what happens with the future of this iconic building. You know the rhyme, right? The rhyme kind of, I got to tell you, it's when the flame is red, it's warm weather ahead. When the flame is gold, watch out for cold. When the flame is blue, there's no change in view. When there's agitation, expect precipitation, which we're expecting in the weather later today. Second up, just a quick note on Aldi and Trader Joe's. Both these companies are owned by German brothers, right? But they're seeing a big increase in foot traffic. This is according to a recent report from Placer.ai. Both places have seen an increase of more than 13.5% in foot traffic this year. 13.5% at Aldi alone. Who's shopping at these stores? Trader Joe's shoppers tend to be higher income, according to Placer's new data. Compared to the median household income of about $82,000 for supermarket chains nationally, Trader Joe's is at $110,000 for its average shopper. The Aldi was a little lower at $75,700, but both places are seeing a big increase in foot traffic. Maybe a sign of what's ahead in these tricky, yet somewhat uncertain economic times. When we come back, I got to touch a bit on April Fool's Day to make sure you are aware of what's happening. This is The Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
You should be listening to Wisconsin's Midday News each weekday from 11 to 1.
Bucks President Peter Feigin joins us live here in the studio right now.
But if you missed us, catch up anytime with Greg Matzik and Jessica Ty by listening to the Wisconsin's Midday News podcast.
What you're seeing now is like the reality of, playing a season together, kind of, getting to know each other.
Powered by Siding Unlimited, siding, and a whole lot more.
Don't forget, take us with you wherever you go. We'd love to have you with us.
Experience one of the greatest choral masterpieces of all time when the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra and Milwaukee Symphony Chorus present the Brahms Requiem at the Bradley Symphony Center, April 11th through the 13th. MSO artistic partner Deshaun Burton and Sonia Headlam will be the soloists in this work, which will be conducted by music director Ken David Mazur. The Brahms Requiem is not so much a lamentation for the dead as it is a tuneful, comforting, heartfelt celebration of life. Complete performances of the work only come around every so often, so don't miss this special opportunity to revel in its romantic glory, April 11th through the 13th only. For tickets, call the MSO box office at 414-291-7605 or visit mso.org.
Tell us a little bit about Innovative Signs.
We're located out in Waukesha. Where we are really focused mostly is manufacturing outdoor electrical signs.
You came to Horicon Bank. How do you think other local businesses can benefit?
When I call, Michelle picks up the phone, and when I email, she responds in a timely manner. A few years ago, I talked to my accountant about shopping around looking for a different bank just to get some alternatives, and he said, absolutely not. You're not going to like working for a big bank. They have a lot more regulations. So that's how we got involved with Cornerstone Bank. When Horicon purchased Cornerstone, we came along for the ride, and it's been great.
I'm a joker, I'm a smoker, I'm a midnight toker. I give my love and all.
Welcome back to The Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. from the Siding Unlimited WTMJ talk and text line, which is 855-616-1620. From the 414, someone asking for me to repeat the Consumer Protection Hotline number. I'm going to do that because this phishing scam that's being targeted around tolls, it's coming fast and furious. I got it on Monday, and I've seen it come through a lot of people that I know. So that number is 800-422-7128. That is the Consumer Protection Hotline at the state of Wisconsin. So be mindful today. It is, of course, Election Day, but it's also April Fool's Day. So be mindful as you read and listen and share content on and offline. How do you feel about April Fool's jokes and pranks and stories? I'll tell you a quick story here. Over the years, one of the co-founders of OnMilwaukee.com, going back years, we decided, hey, it might be a fun opportunity for us to position an upstart digital media company to do our own kind of creative local take on the onion. So we started doing April Fool's features, totally fun, a bit in your face stories that obviously were not true, but were massively exaggerated through the use of creative photography that we used, AI, a little bit, some creative photoshopping, if you will, and other skills to make sure that the photos were really fun and vibrant. Now, this is a multi-month operation, right? We came up with the ideas. We found ways to have a whole lot of fun, maybe poke a little fun at the city we loved through this media vehicle. My quick story. One of the stories we did focused on the Betty Brinn Children's Museum, which I love, which is downtown Milwaukee here at O'Donnell Park, right on Milwaukee's beautiful lakefront. Betty Brinn has all these amazing branded exhibits for kids, right? They have a Sendik's mini grocery store. There's a local auto dealer with a mechanic and a showroom. Palermo's Pizza, actually very new. Palermo's Pizza now has a new interactive exhibit there where kids can make their own pizzas and kind of be a part of the pizzeria experience. But oftentimes, there's some stressed out parents, right? At Betty Brinn. It's an amazing place. I love it to death. But we thought, all right, maybe we could poke a little fun, have a little bit of fun, and do a story with the headline, Betty Brinn to create a new Betty Bar. So we did that, and we mocked up a bar with parents drinking and doing shots and kids kind of running around the whole place. The little catch here, this entire story went out to an email database to the National Children's Museum years and years ago. I got a lot of creative calls that day from the marketing people and from the board of directors of the Betty Brinn Children's Museum saying they weren't too happy about this. But you know what it did? It provided a ton of branding opportunities and some fun storytelling around the Betty Brinn Children's Museum. It was a bit of lemons to lemonade, too. I had the opportunity through this to join the marketing committee at the Betty Brinn Children's Museum and help them with some of their marketing efforts and to amplify their sponsorship. Eventually, I got on the board at the Betty Brinn Children's Museum. And it was, at the time when it happened, we were all a little scared. Oh, my gosh, Betty Brinn's mad at us because of April Fools. But it led to a good civic improvement, some fun storytelling, and we got to amplify a place that all means a ton to us. The Betty Brinn Children's Museum, just a little side note here, is inviting the community to play and explore at its 30-year Be a Kid Ball fundraising gala. It's coming up June 5th from 5 to 9 p.m. at the Pfister Hotel. It's always an amazing event. It's a wonderful institution. Maybe you're on spring break still. Take the kids to Betty Brinn. Coming up next, I got 3 stories for you. TikTok, Brewers walk-up music, and a new retractable roof in Milwaukee. You're listening to The Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. This is WTMJ.
The wait is over, Milwaukee.
Fly ball deep right. Back to back.
The The crew are back where they belong.
Fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone!
The Brewers kick off their first homestand against the Royals. Our Brewers Radio Network game day coverage starts tonight at 6:05. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
I've always believed that great service makes all the difference. At Waterstone Bank, it's more than just banking. It's personal. When I needed help choosing an account, my banker took the time to understand my needs and guided me through my options. Thanks to her advice, I can watch my money grow, knowing it's secure.
Welcome to your Waterstone Bank, where community and personal service come together. Member FDIC.
Hey, it's Jason Wilde for Excel Custom Decks. I'm the football guy, definitely not the outdoor home projects guy. So when it comes to things like deck building, Excel Custom Decks is the true go-to expert. Family owned and operated, Excel Custom Decks uses the finest materials and products and combines that with superior craftsmanship. If you want your outdoor area to shine this summer, contact Excel Custom Decks now. Whatever you dream up for that perfect deck, pergola, or outdoor kitchen, Rob and his family can build it. Excel Custom Decks, decking excellence by design. Visit excelcustomdecks.com today.
At Uline, they know firsthand the road to success is an uphill climb. Uline started in the family basement, and through hard work is now North America's most trusted shipping and industrial supplier. They get what it means to have the support of reliable, hard-working partners. So they keep 41,000 items ready to ship. Whether your company is still in a basement office or expanding cross-country, Uline will be there on your road to success. Visit uline.com.
You only get one chance to make a first impression, and that goes double for your home listing, because that's how you're going to get the most value. By having a customized marketing plan specific to your property with professional photos, global marketing, and the built-in experience that Century 21 Benefit Realty has brought to the table since 2004. And being joined with Century 21 just makes all of the above stand out that much more. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
So how is that possible? 1.9% real estate commission? There must be something you're not telling me.
I hear that a lot. The truth is, everybody could do it, but they choose not to because folks keep paying more than they have to. I guess they just haven't heard yet that Century 21 Benefit Realty can make that 1.9% real estate commission promise on the sale of your home and stick to it. So I'd like to think that's going to make your decision easy. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. So we are back at another deadline for TikTok. And we talk about commerce and community. That's what we do on this show. TikTok's parent company, ByteDance, is on the hook again to sell the app's U.S. operations by April 5th. That's this week. So President Trump extended the deadline in January. If they don't sell by April 5th, I'm guessing they'll either extend the deadline or the app could face another ban in the United States. So as this ban looms, Substack, you know what Substack is? A lot of content creators, journalists, celebrities are moving to Substack for blogging is a bit of an outdated term, but for writing, for content creation, and specifically for newsletter distribution. So back in January, the Substack CEO said that his company was going to rescue the smart people from TikTok. And a lot of people were like, what does that mean? What could Substack be doing that could compete with TikTok? Well, here's the deal. Yesterday, Substack announced that it's rolling out a scrollable video feed in its app. And given the timing of what's coming possibly with TikTok, it appears that Substack's pretty eager to maybe fill a potential void if TikTok suddenly gets banned this time around. Substack launched video in 2022. They went away from it. They redesigned, but now they're going to offer a scrollable TikTok-style feed featuring short-term videos all under 10 minutes, with longer form content and podcast previews expected to follow. So Substack becoming more of a one-stop shop for all types of content. Adding video is going to be a really interesting play for the company. As of February, 82% of the platform's top earning writers are using multimedia in some way, shape, or form on some platforms. And that number was 50% 2 months ago. So the increase of short-form video on whatever platform it is, it's coming. Substack hopes to continue to build on this momentum. So if you're a user of Substack, or maybe you have your own email newsletter that you publish there, add video. It's going to boost it. It's going to enhance it. Next up, are you an Apple Music user? The student rate for Apple Music is, I think it's $5.99 a month now. Individuals are about $10.99 a month. You can try it for free for a month. I think the family plan, that's what we have at the Sherman household, $16.99 a month. I was scrolling yesterday through Apple Music, and I went to the sports section. So if you go to search on your Apple Music, you click on sports, you're going to see all the Major League Baseball walk-up playlists for every team. And I thought this was really a creative thing. They don't list the players, but every song is represented. In the Brewers case, there are 45 different songs. It's really cool. Gives you 3 hours and 11 minutes of Brewers walk-up music. We could use a little something to boost the bats on the Brewers end. So if you're an Apple Music subscriber, I highly recommend going to the sports section, scrolling down, finding the MLB playlists, and just clicking and putting those Brewers walk-up music songs on your phone. We need it, and our team needs it as well. Finally here, there's a new retractable moving roof coming to downtown Milwaukee. We're thankful, of course, that there's a roof at American Family Field, but Cafe Benelux in the 3rd Ward is renovating its rooftop patio with a retractable glass that's going to cover the entire southern third of the rooftop. If you've been down to the historic 3rd Ward, you know that Benelux really activates its rooftop well. It's a beautiful space, but this new design is going to replace the tent that's currently on the rooftop at the restaurant with this glass rollover cover enclosure. News release yesterday that I saw said the redesign is the first of its kind for downtown Milwaukee. Lowlands Group is going to install this. Right now, it's actually the construction work has begun. The new rooftop space is expected to be completed by May. A really cool, as the owner of Lowlands Group, Eric Wagner, said, the rooftop reno is about creating a space that's inviting and enjoyable in inclement winter as it is in summer. The roof and the walls in the new enclosure open to the east and the west. They're going to let fresh air and sunshine in. It's a wonderful, amazing space. And it's really cool to see another retractable roof coming to our great city of Milwaukee. Check it out for sure. Outdoor Living Unlimited. WTMJ News Time is 10:30, ABC News. And then local headlines are next.
ABC News, I'm Sherry Preston. Attorney General Pam Bondi has directed prosecutors to seek the death penalty for Luigi Mangione, if prosecuted, the man accused of killing United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson. Bondi calls Thompson's killing a premeditated, cold-blooded assassination that shocked America. 10,000 workers at the Department of Health and Human Services are being laid off today.
This follows about 10,000 people recently taking early retirements or buyouts. So when you add all of that up, about 20,000 people now at the Department of Health and Human Services in a significant cut there. But the agency says by losing about 25% of their workforce, they still will maintain critical services. HHS also says that this is going to save taxpayers about $1.8 billion a year.
ABC White House correspondent Karen Travers. The Trump administration admits it did make a mistake in sending a man who had been protected from deportation to a prison in El Salvador, but there's nothing the courts can do about it now. This is ABC News.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time is 10:31. I'm Vince Vetrano from the WTMJ Breaking News Center this morning. Election Day is upon us, and we have the polls open until 8 o'clock today. State Superintendent of Public Instruction State Supreme Court and a referendum on voter ID, the top issues on everyone's ballot across Wisconsin. Taking a step back in health, the last student who was injured in the Abundant Life Christian School shooting is back in critical condition. UW Health confirming that news to our partners at WISC TV and us here at WTMJ. The family requesting privacy. Now a teacher and a student died in the December shooting along with the student shooter in that case. No real bomb threat in Madison. State Capitol Police investigating a call Monday about 1 o'clock at the Capitol building. Turns out a person was wearing Nerf darts taped to the belt area. Police did say the person appeared to be suffering from a mental health crisis, and that person was taken to the Dane County Jail for questioning. No explosives were actually found. Time for news about your money. WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. Dow Jones Industrial Average right now up 53 points to 42,055. S&P 500 at 5633, that was up 21 points, and the NASDAQ up 127 to 17,426. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Details at annexwealth.com. Take a look at the roads. Your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic Report. Somehow no major incidents, even despite our construction delays that would be typical this time. Nothing doing. We have regular freeway speeds across the system. Here, WTMJ, 5-day forecast, increasing clouds, cool, and a wintry mix possibly moving in late today with a high of 40 degrees. That mix continues overnight, maybe an inch of slushy accumulation to the north of the city, and a low down to 35. Wednesday, high of 63 degrees with some morning rain and storms, likely chance of thunderstorms in the afternoon once again. Thursday, high of 53 under partly cloudy skies. Friday's high 47. And Saturday, high of 50 degrees with a slight chance of rain in the morning. Right now in Madison, 37 degrees, 36 in Waukesha, Green Bay at 35, and Milwaukee at 35 degrees as well. I'm Vince Vitrano, Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 10:34.
Are you worried about running out of money in retirement? Wondering about how to pay less taxes? Join me, Tony Drake, for the Retirement Ready Show, live every Saturday at noon and Sunday at 7 a.m. on WTMJ 620 or 103.3 FM. We'll talk about smart strategies to help you retire with confidence. Don't miss it.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, representing the auto dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam member dealers employ more than 6,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 15th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil campaign. To date, Adam has donated over $953,000, which provided over 3.8 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
If the amazing regenerative treatments at QC Kinetics provided relief for former pro football player Bobby Carpenter, imagine the potential for your aching joints.
So my knee had been bothering me for a while. I played football for a number of years. I looked at talking to some doctors when I need to potentially have surgery, and I decided hey, let's check out QC Kinetics. I go in there and they look at the knee. Hey, here's the program that we can put you through.
That treatment takes your body's own healing properties and concentrates them at the root of the pain. No surgery or downtime.
The best part was there's no recovery until one day I felt like, hey, this feels like my old self again. I feel better. It's helped me. It's helped my dad. Hopefully it will help you in the same way. My message to them is do not wait. So you can go out and play golf and do the things that you love and enjoy.
Take it from Bobby Carpenter. Call QC Kinetics now for your free consultation.
Call QC Kinetics, 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. Today's Wisconsin Supreme Court race is the most expensive state Supreme Court race on record, seeing $75.8 million in ad spend, 89% more than the second place 2023 Wisconsin Supreme Court contest. This is according to ad tracking firm Ad Impact. Groups affiliated with Elon Musk have spent $18.2 million backing Brad Schimmel in the election, according to filings cited by Brennan Center for Justice, with more than $12.2 million of that coming from Musk's America PAC, which he used during the presidential election, obviously to back President Trump. Advertisers backing Susan Crawford have, I think it's an $8.4 million ad advantage overall. So lots of money being spent in this election. I wanted to get some implications as to business and policy. So joining us on the phone is Pat Sobakowski, an adjunct assistant professor of political science at Marquette University. Patrick, I appreciate your time this morning.
Thanks for having me, Jeff. I'm looking forward to the conversation.
Of course. So I just kind of want to level set around the election. Obviously, record-breaking spending. What does it reflect in terms of broader trends in judicial races across the country?
That's a really good question. So I think a big part of it, frankly, is people are starting to see that the judiciary, whether it's at the federal level or at the state level, really matters. Whether we like it or not, a lot of really important political questions that we face as a nation ultimately end up becoming, for all intents and purposes, legal questions. Mm-hmm. And so I think that, the spending reflects, acknowledgement of that fact.
When we drill it down on a local level, Professor, do you see this race as a referendum on the first several days of the Trump administration, or more so on Musk's political influence?
It's hard to say. Certainly, I think it's the case that that Crawford is trying to frame it that way as a referendum on both Trump and for sure Musk with his really extensive spending to back Schimmel mm-hmm. in the election. But I think it's hard to say. I think it's certainly the case that there's a noticeable effect when Trump is on the ballot, formally on the ballot versus when he's not. And so, whether it's actually a referendum on Trump himself, I think remains to be seen. I think the case is probably better that, just based on the ads and so on and so forth, that people are, it's being framed as pushback against what Musk has been doing as a member of DOJ in the federal government right now.
Do you think it continues to shape the political landscape for the upcoming midterms, and even, will the results here and maybe in Florida, will they be a little early indicator of 2028?
I hesitate to say whether we can take this as a surefire indicator for 2028. That's still pretty far off in the distance. I think that there's a case to be made that it's, it could either, if you are a Democrat or somebody who is sympathetic, mm-hmm. Or maybe just frankly opposed to what Musk and or Trump have been doing in their first couple of months in office, you could take it as a good sign, depending on, things like voter turnout and mm-hmm. whether Crawford wins or loses. Or you could take it as a really bad sign because, if something happens and Schimmel wins, and maybe it's not particularly close, maybe you take that as, people are buying into what Trump and Musk are doing right now. Mm-hmm. So it could be a good sign or a bad sign, frankly, depending on, your own political views.
When we come back, I want to talk about the statewide referendum for voter ID and talk a little bit more about that, Patrick. The early voter turnout and what that surge means in this campaign. We're talking with Patrick Sobolkowski, an adjunct professor of political science at Marquette University. This is the Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
Hey Bucks fans, it's Justin Garcia from the Bucks Radio Network, here to tell you about the launch of the Bucks Central podcast feed. Everything Bucks on demand in one spot. From sideline to sideline, hear all the ankle-breaking, rim-rattling, and twine-tingling highlights, exclusive interviews, and more. Subscribe to the Bucks Central podcast feed wherever you get your podcasts. All the Bucks content your heart desires in one spot. Check out the Bucks Central podcast feed.
Founded by inventors, fueled by community, and focused on business. This is WTMJ's Jeff Sherman speaking on behalf of my good friends at Horicon Bank. Horicon Bank, they've been doing banking differently since 1896. How? Your financing requests, they can be approved in days. You don't have to wait weeks because your banker understands you and your business. Service and products go hand in hand, providing top-notch products to meet your cash flow needs. Horicon Bank, they always get the job done. Together, doing good. That's their vision, and they're committed to doing what it takes to help your business grow. Horicon Bank, truly the natural choice. Member FDIC.
This message is sponsored by WisCaregiver.com. Now is the time to start a meaningful career as a caregiver. Make a real difference in people's lives. WisCaregiver.com gives you 2 great options for free. Train for the in-demand caregiver workforce as a CDCP, Certified Direct Care Professional, or become a CNA, Certified Nurse Aide. All training is free. Plus, you can earn a $500 bonus. Learn more. Visit WisCaregiver.com.
Since 1964, we've changed your tires and so much more. Richland's Tire and Service, such a refreshing change. Richland's.
For those with a warm weather fashion, try St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, because that's where you'll find a vast array of men's, women's, girls, and boys' warm weather apparel at the friendliest prices. So many choices, and at such a value. You can fill the closet without draining your wallet. Shop warm weather fashions at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
A great way to add value and curb appeal to your home is with the new LiftMaster or CHI maintenance-free garage door. Hey, it's WTMJ's Greg Matzik. A study by Remodelers Magazine reports that the average return on investment is an amazing 82%. Garage doors rank first among all home improvement projects. To see Geis's huge selection of doors, visit their showroom in Brookfield, or you can also visit their online showroom at geisdoors.com. Geis has everything from alley doors to custom wood designer doors and everything in between. Remember, for all your garage door needs, you call Geis at 262-784-4250. That number again, 262-784-4250. It's Geis. Visit them online at geisdoors.com.
Don't think twice. Call Geis.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. We are talking with Pat Sobolkowski, Marquette University. Professor, I appreciate your time this morning. So I wanted to dive in on the statewide referendum a bit. Referendum is asking about voter ID. It's a decade-old rule in Wisconsin that requires voters to show photo identification at polls or when requesting the absentee ballot. Now, the question isn't asking voters whether to get rid or to keep voter ID. It will remain in place regardless of the results. But it's asking, should essentially it make the law permanent by adding it to the state constitution? I wanted to get your impressions on how a more strict voter ID laws could be a barrier to Wisconsin moving forward in terms of influence, not only this election, but for future elections.
Yeah, so my sense is that amending the state constitution to include this voter ID requirement, that's going to make it harder for people to vote. Some people don't have a driver's license. Some people, maybe don't have a valid state ID. And, some people who support these types of laws would say, it's their responsibility as citizens to obtain and then maintain a valid ID. But I think that ignores, economic barriers and other types of factors, sociological, economic factors. And frankly, I think that it's better if more people are able to vote rather than less. We live in a representative democracy, and I think that it should be relatively easy for people to vote. That's my general sense. Yeah. I think it would be a bad thing.
Well, let's kind of turn the page a little bit to the business side. I mean, you see things from the political lens, from your legal lens, and I can think also at stake here is from a small business standpoint. You see, inflation, you see higher costs, you see higher healthcare coming. You see this election having any influence on policies that affect small business owners?
I think that any influence or effect from this election would be somewhat attenuated. A lot of these things like inflation, high energy costs, healthcare expenses, these aren't exclusively state level issues. And specifically, they're not Wisconsin State Supreme Court issues. These are much broader than the state of Wisconsin in terms of, policy and those types of things. I think that the real answer to the question probably goes back to an earlier question in our discussion, which is, is this a referendum on Trump's first few months and or Elon Musk's involvement in the federal government? Again, I think that question, or the answer to that question, remains to be seen. Maybe it's the case that if Crawford wins in resounding fashion, maybe that encourages Trump to sort of cut back on things like on tariffs and other things. But that relies on him making the connection between an electoral victory for Democrats right now and his policies. And I think that it's, let's say, an open question whether he's able to make that type of connection, or even willing to acknowledge it, assuming he can make the connection.
Very good. I appreciate your time and insights this morning, Professor. Enjoy the rest of the day, and we'll talk to you again soon.
All righty. Thanks, Jeff. Take care.
Coming up next, a warm welcome to the new chancellor at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, and I have an idea to put on his first 100 days. This is the Upswing. You're listening to WTMJ.
WTMJ's Vince Vitrano here for Shopco Optical. Get eyewear for everything you do at Shopco Optical. Schedule your annual comprehensive eye exam, check out new frame styles, and order your annual supply of contact lenses all in one place. Enjoy the time and attention your eyes deserve at Shopco Optical. Receive quality eye care and a personalized vision solution tailored to your specific vision and lifestyle needs. Call Shopco Optical or visit shopco.com to schedule an appointment at a location nearest you.
Look what I found.
What is it?
It's a list of the traditional and modern anniversary gifts for each year of marriage.
Sarah and I use a different list. But go ahead and tell us about yours.
The traditional gift for your first anniversary is paper, but the modern gift is a clock.
Well, our list says the first anniversary is always diamond jewelry.
What's your list called?
The People's Choice.
The traditional gift for your 6th anniversary is iron, but the modern gift is wood.
What a coincidence. For the 6th anniversary, our list says diamonds again. What do you have for the 10th anniversary, Rick?
Traditional is aluminum, modern is diamond jewelry.
Well, there you go. Our lists agree. What have you got for the 7th anniversary?
Copper and a desk set.
Nope. Diamonds again.
I'm beginning to see the wisdom of the People's Choice list.
It's good to have you on board.
Can I ask you something?
Sure.
Did you make up that People's Choice list, or is it real?
Well, we're people, aren't we?
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
You can't beat Burkhart.
New Berlin and Fox Point.
Accunet Mortgage is an equal housing lender. NMLS ID 255368.
This is Chief Homebuyer Helper Brian Wickert. One of our senior loan consultants recently helped their first-time homebuyer client win over 13 other offers. Of course, it was a team effort with their buyer's agent, and it centered around helping our clients understand what little difference there was to their monthly payment to offer over the asking price. And again, what little difference it would make to give the sellers peace of mind that they'd still buy even if the appraisal came in up to $20,000 short. But that's not all. Our consultant also texted and called the listing agent to reinforce how well qualified our buyers were and that they could, in fact, still close even if the appraisal came in low. Your Accunet consultant will help you understand your options so you can decide how aggressive you want to be. Then we do everything possible to help you win. Don't let someone else end up sleeping in your dream home. Know your options and get your rock-solid guaranteed pre-approval by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com. That's ACCUNET.com.
You've got several kids, or your job and other commitments keep you buried with work.
Meanwhile, the clutter is piling up at home. How can people stay tidy when their lives are in chaos?
We have a solution to help you chase away the chaos.
Yes. He's Dan, and I'm Katie. Together, we're Inspired Closets.
Our team at Inspired Closets can more than double your closet storage space via gorgeous closet renovations.
And our true lifetime warranty makes it a no-brainer. Get started today at InspiredClosetsMilwaukee.com.
Inspired Closets.
A wife and husband team.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Welcome back to the Upswing. I'm Jeff Sherman. I want to extend a warm, heartfelt Milwaukee welcome to the new chancellor at the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee, Dr. Thomas Gibson. I always say that Milwaukee is a college town in so many ways. The density of colleges and universities and institutions of higher education here, we punch way above our weight. And the collaboration of all the universities really shows in the business world here. Dr. Gibson has been the chancellor at the University of Wisconsin-Stevens Point since 2021. A really interesting item here. He raised over $10 million from Century Insurance to build the Century School of Business and Economics. When he was there, really enhanced the College of Natural Resources research, did a bunch of work on internships, just a true innovator at Stevens Point. I'm excited to have him here in Milwaukee. If I can put one item on his first 100 days, I mean, this is a big one, but I've advocated for this for years. How about we look at creating a plan to close Maryland Avenue through the UWM campus, right? The university's a little bit landlocked for expansion, so why not just create more land? Especially in the heart of that campus. You close Maryland Avenue between Kenwood and Hartford, maybe even all the way to Newport. You grass over it, and you create more of a community campus feel there. I think it would be really beneficial to continue to grow the creative space that is the University of Wisconsin-Milwaukee. No matter what, again, a warm welcome to Dr. Thomas Gibson, the new chancellor at UWM. Friendly reminder today, the polls are open from, obviously right now, they opened at 7 a.m. I always think like the polls should open at like 6 or 5:30, but that's just me. They're open till 8 p.m. today. You have to have a Wisconsin valid ID, and you can also same-day register at the polls today. Make sure to bring a proof of residence document if you're going to register at the polls today that showcases your current address. Could be a utility bill, could be a pay stub or a lease, whatever. You can register at the polls today if you're not already registered. The polls are open until 8 p.m. Coming up next, Wisconsin's midday news. But first, let's do some local business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The universities of Wisconsin